Hello everyone, my name is Liliana and welcome back to my 100-day art challenge, day 8. And it looks like today we're going to be drawing Luna! Alright, let's go! So, I had a couple of different ideas when it came to drawing Luna, just because. So, one, Luna is a kitsune. She's part fox based off of her ancestor Lunar, who I believe is on this list and you guys will meet later on. Luna is a alchemist and she likes to make all kinds of potions on top of being the princess of the Lunar Kingdom in Kurisu. So honestly, I had one idea of drawing her in a lab coat with all of her alchemy tools, but then I considered doing a series of drawings with the Kurisu gang. So all of them in their elegant gowns at a ball. So, I had her sitting in a chair of sorts and doing like this silly little pose just 'cause it seemed sassy and extravagant of her, which is how I like to describe her. She's extremely intelligent, probably smarter than her brother. And by probably I mean most definitely. Luna has a twin brother who is also on the wheel, and I can't wait to roll him up so you guys can compare them side by side. Um, Unlike her brother, she's very outspoken and is not afraid to stand her ground. I actually recently looked through one of my old sketchbooks and I found this one design that I had done for either her twin brother or their ancestor. So when I roll one of them up, I'll be using that sketch and I'm so excited for it. Luna is often referred to as the Princess of the Night, because lunar, moon, they have this whole like theme going on, which is why I picked this lavender color for her gloves and dress and this dark indigo color for her hair and tail. Part of me wanted to stay within like the purple color palette, but I also wanted to give her some accentuation accentuating colors. But I was afraid it wasn't gonna come out right, so I stayed more within the purple range and just changing the saturation and how light the color was. In my opinion, blue looks very good with purple, which is why I gave her these blue shoes and this kind of um blue translucent fabric to go over the dress. Um, Her dress kind of reminds me of like these Indian outfits right here. I don't know the name of them right now. Um, but I think that they're very beautiful, very elegant, and I just love how loud they are. And honestly, if I really wanted to, I could go back and add like all those um ornate details to the dress just to, give it more elegance, I guess. But you'll see what I did with the dress later. Um Luna was technically supposed to be Japanese, but I kind of let the design run wild and I ended up with this dress similar to an Indian wedding dress. Not saying like they're exactly the same, but like they're kind of similar, I guess. While shading her hair, I did decided to add that accentuating magenta just to give the hair a little bit more volume and like depth because usually I only shade it with one color. Sometimes two, like I did with the very first episode of Swan. And I feel really proud of the way I did her hair because I love how these three colors look together on in her hair. For some reason, I feel like the shading or like me blending it out came out a little weird, or at least it felt like that while I was blending. But once I added the highlights, I think it looked a little bit better. Um, I'm trying to cut back on blending, so I used a marker that Clip Studio had in their shop, which helps me come up with these really good gradations, thanks to pressure sensitivity in my pen. Even though Luna can use magic, she loves to use the logic of science and honestly prefers it much more to magic. It's probably because like she has very like minor abilities and with science she can get a lot farther ahead. And thanks to her fascination with the research, she was able to get her kingdom a lot more technologically advanced than the other kingdoms. So they already have like high speed trains and other stuff that doesn't necessarily need magic, while everyone else is still relying on carriages. I like to think that this gives Luna like some sort of superiority complex over the other royals. Like, you overthrew your parents? That's nothing. You're trying to bring your kingdom back from ashes? I mean, I commend you, but I have trains. Do you have trains? No, I don't think so. As much as her friends love her, she's not necessarily someone that they would go to when they're having troubles of their own, because she would use logic and facts against them. It's not that she doesn't care, it's just that she prefers to look at everything through a scientific lens. Everything happens for a reason. And your life sucks? Well, have you tried being better at it? Um, Seriously though, she does truly care about her friends. Um, but I think she might be somewhere on the autism spectrum. I don't know where, but I think she might show some signs to her friends, but of course they don't have like an actual diagnosis for it in their worlds. Since this kind of takes place during European medieval ages. So you know how it was? There wasn't really like mental health, and if you were going through depressions, you probably had a demon possessing you. Um, which honestly, now that I say that out loud, it doesn't make sense that they have trains, but here we are. Originally, Luna was supposed to have makeup, but then one of two things happened. One, I kind of forgot. And two, I don't think Luna's the type of princess to put on makeup whenever she has to go to a ball. She feels the best in you know, her natural skin. And on top of that, she would be ready to go into her labs at a moment's notice. So makeup, in her opinion, is just kind of unnecessary, at least for her. She doesn't care that her other friends do it if it helps them feel pretty and all that, but she wouldn't do it for herself. I'm just finishing up with some final details, shading and highlighting her tail, and then I'll move on to her chair and just do some quick simple shading, nothing too extravagant since well, it's a background prop and not important to like her true self. I added a little bit of back shading to the hair in order to give it some more depth and so you can tell what is behind her and what's in front of her. This is a trick I learned when painting Lottie. It's just that her hair looked a little too even when I was shading it, so I created a blending layer and added some shadows. For the background, I was originally gonna put in like people dancing or like her underneath like this pavilion, which is why I have all this dark shades going around, like some lights, but in the end I just stuck with some simple gradation. Anyways, here's the final design. I hope you guys like it. Please remember to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.